Hey guys, let's talk about sexual taboo part 4. So this particular taboo is about menstruation shame, which is so unfortunate. It's like we've gone back in day and age. But your period is not dirty, it's by divine design. So please be aware of that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wouldn't put anything in place that was made to spiritually suppress us in any shape, form or fashion. So let's talk about it. The whole element behind menstruation is covered very differently in different cultures. In women's experience, well, most of us have been taught to hide it or shame or feel less than over it, rather than just a general modesty around it. We're taught shame. So menstruations, like periods, are treated like something disgusting. We whisper about it. We hide our pads like they're contraband. And we act like we're less spiritual when we bleed, which is not the case at all whatsoever. It's actually a rahmat from Allah to give us a break. But here's the truth. Your period is not dirty. It's a mercy from Allah. And it's a perfect design. And I actually find it quite ironic how they've taken an easeful woman and turned it into her lack of spirituality. So there's so many things written in the Quran. And one of the things that I wanted to refer to in Surah Al-Baqarah is that they ask you about menstruation. Say it is a discomfort, so stay away from sexual intimacy with women during this time and do not approach them until they are purified. Now this verse doesn't say women are impure. It says menstruation is a state of discomfort, which is a physical condition. So the ruling is about intimacy, not your worth directly. If anything, there's been a boundary put in place for men. So the Prophet ﷺ would sit with his wives, love them, rest with them, nap in their laps, read Quran to them, and he never treated them as untouchable. If anything, he was more affectionate, loving, and comforting during that time. So this is a shame that we inherited. And, I always thought, where did we inherit this from? It's again from culture to Quran. So society's equated blood with filth and women with weakness. Now girls are taught to say, I'm not praying today, instead of I'm on my cycle. So we hide our pads, feel guilty for not fasting and disconnected from spiritual places. But menstruation is not a punishment. It's not a filthy thing. It's a part of our creation. And Allah does not make mistakes. So you're not less Muslim when you're bleeding. You're still in worship through remembrance and dhikr of Allah. And He's given you this time to rest as a mercy on your body and a boundary for men to stay away from you and give you that break. It's actually beautiful. So purity in Islam isn't about being a spotless, individual. It's about being in a state that aligns with what Allah has prescribed. So menstruation is a divine pause, not a stain. So our Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught women how to cleanse after menstruation, not how to, purify their souls. It was simply to clean the body. And many female companions openly discuss menstruation with our Nabi Kareem with no shame, awkwardness or judgment, because it's a natural part of being a human being. And if our Nabi Kareem could make space for those questions, so can we all. So we need to start working on healing our relationships with our bodies. So your period is a part of a spiritual rhythm, ladies. It's actually very beautiful. Allah in His wisdom gave us cycles and it helps us understand where our energies peak and flow. This is not random, it's rahmah. You're still a believer if you bleed. You're still spiritually valuable. You're still worthy of love, connection, ease, way beyond being on your period or not. So it's really important for us to understand the mercy that this is rather than a punishment from Allah. So let's stop whispering and start acting with healing. Share this with your sister who has ever felt dirty on her period or ashamed about it being in a situation, maybe during Ramadan. Let's release this shame and understand it's a natural human experience. Your blood doesn't make you less, it makes you human, just as Allah intended. So my advice would be to implement the Islamic method to this, which is still have your modesty. You don't need to go out into public spaces and say, I'm on my period, I'm on my period. But you also don't need to feel a sense of shame inside of you when it's happening, because that creates your narrative in life. And if shame is something you're carrying, you're inevitably going to carry in other parts of your life too.